So kind of this down regulation's been my kind of theme for the last few weeks, because I don't want to get into that sort of workshop and start doing different stuff, which can be kind of like where I end up. And I think the hot weather that we've had has been a really good opportunity to practice that a little bit as well, because it's good to slow down a little bit. It's good to sort of think about what you want yourself, and good about kind of like thinking about what works for you. It says he's staring into the sun, squinting hugely, but like, yeah. So I think we should start off, like, because we're on the beach sunbathing. I mean yogas. Start off lying down. If you want to come a bit closer, it's okay, because I think the closer you are, the less likely it is that dogs come along and kind of like hassle you. You know. I think one person, they kind of like feel a little bit easier hassling two people. Anyway, let's start off. And one of the things I've really been working with lately is this idea of when you're lying down, relaxing all these parts as much as possible. So all the bits that are kind of like making contact with somewhere, how can you relax them a little bit more? And I'm definitely thinking about that center line of the body, so the whole spine center line of the body down into the legs. If you got your legs straight, great, they can be more relaxed. If you've got them bent and sort of like keeling in on one another like I have here, then you've got to sort of keep them up. Then there's the cross-body part, the arms, the shoulders, the elbows, and the wrists. And another area that we can focus on for relaxing, especially for this idea of down regulating, is a bit, if you can imagine it, right between your eyes. So like the center of your forehead. It's the bit that you kind of think of, you know, when people are stressed and you see clip art images of people are stressed, they pinch sort of the bridge of their nose or the corners of their eyebrows, and they're sort of pinching that area. Focus on seeing if you can relax that area. Maybe even putting one finger or two fingers on that area, and maybe just gently massaging that area between your eyes, between your eyebrows, between your eyes. We've sort of taken this area, these facial expressions that we make when we're stressed are there to communicate to others, hey, I'm having a stressed time here, come and give me a hand. Back when we were kind of like hunter-gatherers and our whole survival depended on everybody pulling together. Now people, when we look stressed, people go, why are you looking stressed? And kind of like point at us like you're not supposed to feel stressed. So we can tend to build up stress in this area between the kind of eyebrows here. And it's good to be able to massage that area and help to get rid of it a little bit. So feel for giving that area a bit of a gentle massage. Not anything too hectic. Not anything too... And here I am realizing that on the beach, starting to rub your face with your sandy hands. Maybe not the smartest idea, but there we go. And then once you've kind of like felt like that area is as released as possible, relax the hands, relax the elbows, relax the shoulders. Relax that whole line between one shoulder and the other shoulder, so across the chest, letting the shoulder blades make full contact with the ground that you're on. Relax your low back, your hips, and the feet. Switching on your yoga breath, or whatever breath feels like it's the breath you want to be playing with today. We've played a lot with different kinds of breath. Sitali breath being quite a nice one for cooling when the weather's a bit hot. And that's always one that you can come into. That's the one where you roll your tongue or breathe in over your tongue and out through the nose. And let's bring both hands onto the belly. Middle fingers roughly in line with your belly button. And let's start getting some breath into that area. On an inhale, you're going to lift your hands. Your hands are going to lift up and they're going to widen. And as you exhale, the hands are going to gently come together. Maybe engaging the belly just a little bit for that extra kind of oof of out breath at the end. Relax the belly, then let air pour in. Hands move away. Exhale, hands move together. Breath is one of those things that carries on even when we're relaxing. And so this idea of being able to relax the belly and gently contract the belly, this happens automatically as we're breathing. But we're taking conscious control over it. I'm trying to exaggerate it just a little bit in order to be able to deepen the breath, get the breath going a little bit more. And that changes, this idea of breathing a little bit deeper changes our blood chemistry a little bit for the better. Now, when you breathe out, I want you to imagine a circle that goes around your belly button. And as you breathe out, I want you to imagine that you're pulling that entire circle towards the middle of your belly button. So not just gathering the sides of the belly in, but the top and the bottom, the top left corner, top right corner, bottom left corner, bottom right corner. On that exhale, you're gathering the whole of that circle of the belly in towards the center line. And then relax the circle. Let it go to a normal shape, and then inhale, widen that circle. Exhale, pulling that circle in. A little bit more nuanced than just pulling the sides of the belly in. If you've got the space, I'm outdoors. I can't left myself enough space today. I never will. You can bring your arms out into a T shape either side of you. Now, there's three ways your hands can be. You can have palms facing up, thumbs facing up, palms facing down. I kind of think palms facing up or thumbs facing up is kind of a nice way here. You might want to bring your arms a little bit lower down, maybe bring them a little bit further up, depending on how tight you are in the chest. We're getting them out to the side, relaxing the hands, relaxing the elbows, relaxing the shoulders, and feeling a very gentle stretch across the chest. Still on the inhale, letting the belly lift up. Exhale, gathering that circle in towards the belly button. Dragonfly twist. We're going to focus on breathing into the side ribs. So, cross your right ankle over your left thigh. This is kind of like pigeon on the back, normal position. Sole of your foot, roll your hips so the sole of the foot comes down to the left. Now, you might still be able to keep your arms out to the side here, or not. Move them to a position where you're feeling like there's a little bit of a chest opening going on, but it's not like your arms floating in the air and you're feeling like your hands going numb and all that kind of weird stuff. It's not going to help at all. Trick is here again. Can you still be breathing into the belly? Because how often in the world do we sit straight up and we can breathe, have this unrestricted version of breathing going on? We're usually twisted, we're set down, we're bent over. Usually sometimes wearing constricted clothing. So being able to build up these muscles, secondary muscles of breathing, and making our breathing more effective is a really good trick. And a twist is a great place to be playing with this. just so our arms don't get kind of like numb in this position, because yeah, these chest openers can get quite extreme. Take both your hands and put them onto the right hand side of your ribs. Now, that is if you've turned, flipped over to the left. If you got it confused, you got over to the other side, and put them on the left hand side of your ribs. But if you're following along and you twist it to the left, hands on the right hand side of the ribs. And feel for sending breath into that area underneath your hands. Notice if there's any place that's holding tension. That leg that's crossed over, sometimes there's tension in that leg. Can you alter the foot position, alter the leg position a little bit? So maybe the tension removes out of that leg a little bit. Come out of that twist. One leg comes into the middle, the other leg comes into the middle. Give your hips a little bit of wiggle. We're going to go the other way. So first thing we did, little tackle over the right thigh. Swing the hips over to the right and take our arms in a T shape. So we're getting a little bit of a chest opener here. Notice if there's any clenching of the jaw, tightening of the hands. If you're outdoors and the sun's in your eyes, you can be kind of like excuse for scrunching your eyes up a little bit. That's kind of normal. If you're indoors, relax the eyes as well. Then bring both hands, put them onto the left-hand side of the ribs. Breathe in underneath the hands. Feel for that motion that you can feel when you're sending breath into that area. Come back to the middle. Top leg comes to the middle first. Bottom leg comes up. Give your hips a little bit of a wiggle. Cat exercise one. This is that very subtle movement where on the inhale, we're lifting the curve of the back up, lifting the belly button up. Sometimes people think of it tilting the hips forward. And then on the exhale, we let that curve come back down to normal. We let the hips come back down to normal, or the belly button sink back down to that place that's normal, depending on kind of like what cue feels best for you. But basically, on an inhale, the belly button comes up, lifts up, curve of the lower back lifts up, pelvis tilts forward a little bit. And then on the exhale, everything goes back to what is normal for you. Inhale, lifting it up, giving that low back a little bit of extra curvature. And then on the exhale, letting it come back down to normal. That's the key here, letting it come back down to normal. Do a few more of those. Again, can you isolate this movement to this part that needs to work so that lots of weird things happen here. I feel in myself like my feet start to clench up because I'm doing stuff, or my hands want to clench up. Can you relax everything other than just the bits that are involved in doing this movement, or as much as possible? Very subtle, very small, but very effective. Dead bug. Great one, dead bug. You can just go straight into dead bug from the back. How do you do this? You lift your knees up, you lift your feet up off the floor so your knees are over your hips, and then you lift your hands up so your hands are over your shoulders. This is the classic dead bug position. It's a happy dead bug. It's not actually dead, but, you know, it's happy. Fine. I didn't name these things. Then what you can do is on an inhale, feel for lifting your shoulder blades up off the floor, fingers reaching towards the sky. Exhale, the shoulder blades come back down. So do a few rounds of this. Inhale, lifting the shoulder blades up off the floor. Head stays down, lower back stays down, shoulders stay down. It's just the shoulder blades that lift up. And on the exhale, let them come back down. This is doing two things. It's loosening up your spine, and also you're getting this idea of moving the shoulder blades. Then we're going to move into something a little bit more active here. This time, inhale, feel for reaching your fingertips up towards the ceiling. Exhale, bring the shoulder blades down onto the floor. Then bring your left heel down towards the floor too. Inhale, bring the leg to the starting position so the foot comes up. Then reach up to the sky. Exhale, right heel comes down slowly. Shoulder blades come down to the floor. Inhale, reach up towards the sky. Shoulder blades come up. Feet come up off the floor. Exhale, left heel slowly comes down. Inhale, shoulders up, feet up. Exhale, right heel comes down, shoulder blades come down. Do a few more rounds of this, alternating your feet. Next time your right heel touches the floor, bring both your feet down, bring your arms down, give your hips a little bit of a shake. And maybe come back to that breath where on the inhale, you're expanding the belly. And on the exhale, you're gathering that belly in towards the belly button. Dead bug crunches. We're not going to crunch dead bugs here. These are bad names for these things. But basically the dead bug position, hands up, feet up off the floor, knees up towards the ceiling. Take a big breath in and do the same thing. Reach your arms up towards the sky. So your shoulder blades are up off the floor. Bring your left hand down onto your right knee. Exhale, press the hand into the knee, knee into the hand. Exhale, relax the shoulders back down to the floor. Inhale, lift your arms up, shoulder blades up off the mat. Left hand onto the right knee, press hand into knee, knee into hand. Exhale, the shoulder blades relax down onto the We're going to alternate the hands here. Inhale, both arms lift up. Right hand onto left knee, press hand into knee, knee into hand. Exhale, relax the shoulder blades. Inhale, arms up. Left hand onto right knee, press hand into knee, knee into hand. Exhale, shoulder blades relax. You should feel a contraction happening across the body. You should feel like your abs are getting a little bit of a workout. Finish off the round you're on, bring your feet down onto the floor, and swing your knees from side to side. That's probably enough abs for today. Rock your knees from side to side. Maybe let's go into a slightly deeper lying down spinal twist here. Bring your feet onto the floor, lift your hips up off the floor. Swing your hips to the right about 2 or 3 inches. And then let your knees come down to the left. This is a deeper twist. It's deeper because that little shift to the hips we did lets more spine come into play. So we're moving this twist up the body a little bit now. So we're getting a little bit more twist. You might find here it's easier to put your shoulder blades on the floor. Maybe it's easier to come into a T shape. I'm going to keep you here too long because otherwise you'll probably be asleep. So come back to the middle. Give your hips a bit of a wiggle. Going the other way. So press your feet into the floor, lift your hips up, swing your hips to the left, 2 or 3 inches, and then let your knees drop to the right. Maybe the arms go out to the side. Bring your feet to the middle, knees to the middle, roll over onto your favorite side. Maybe stay there for a breath or two. And then we're going to sit up. We're just falling asleep there. Like for a second, like I heard voices. I was like, where am I? Let's come into a seated twist. This is a nice thing. We're working the twist up from the bottom of the body up. Usually we work from the top down. And working from the bottom up actually releases the core, releases the low back. It's actually kind of like maybe gives us a bit more effective twist. So for this one, you can either have your legs in Baddha Konasana, you can have them crossed, or if you feel like you want to get some leg action, and you're going to be a left leg straight from the right heel to the groin. This is where we're going to kind of work with these twists. Either way here, we're going to bring our right hand onto the left knee. Whichever kind of orientation you've got, that's the kind of thing that's going on here. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Lengthen the spine. Right hand onto the left knee. Left hand goes behind, turning to the left. Hey, you turn to the left. So right hand, left knee, turn to the left. If you've got your legs straight out, try and make both your sit bones connect onto the floor. If you're in Baddha Konasana, probably both your sit bones are already on the floor. If you're sitting cross-legged, it's probably also a good idea to make sure both your sit bones are on the floor. If you've got one leg straight, see if you can relax that straight leg. I'm usually talking about pushing through that straight leg or pressing the heel in. Can you let it relax? Relax at the shoulders, relax at the jaw. Relax in the throat as well. Noticing if there's any additional constriction in there for the air to go in. Take a big, expansive breath into the belly. And then as you gently exhale and you're pulling that belly in, see if you can pull yourself into a little bit of a deeper twist. Again, being very mindful of what feels good, doesn't feel good. Inhale, come back to the middle. We're going to go the other way. So what we're going to do is that straight leg, if you've got that straight leg going on, you need to kind of alter that. The other knee comes up like this now. So whichever position you're in, you got one leg straight, one knee going up. We're going to twist the other way. Inhale, sweep the arms up. This time, left hand onto the right knee, twist to the right. You can use this pulling action onto this knee that's coming up as a way to help you come across. So there's a little bit of a bind. If you're feeling kind of ambitious here and you don't need that arm behind you to hold you up at all, You can wrap that arm behind you, maybe grab hold of your waistband, maybe even, who knows, grab hold of that left thigh. Gentlemen doing this, you could even put your hand into your pocket. I can almost reach that pocket, actually. This engages the core a little bit more than having that arm behind the back where you got a little bit of additional support. Again, big expansive breath into the belly. You're not going to be able to get much breath in though, because you've got the thigh across the belly. Again, pulling the belly in on the exhale, seeing if that lets you go a little bit deeper. Come out of that, come back to the middle. Ooh. Give everything a shake the sand off. Gonna go the other way. So whether you're doing your leg in the other direction, have it the other way. So if you're doing the one leg straight thing, right leg straight, left heel to the groin. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Left hand, right knee. Right hand goes behind, turning to the right. Different orientation here. Different thing happening. See if you can relax that straight leg if you've got the straight leg. Sink into your sit bones as well, rather than leaning onto one side. And the shoulders come down as much as possible. Expanding the belly on the inhale. Gently contracting the belly on the exhale. Inhale, come back to the middle. This time that leg goes straight, the other knee comes up like this. Dog wanted to join in, stop paying. Inhale, sweep the arms up. So right hand, left knee, left hand either goes behind you to hold you up, or you can sweep that left hand, put it around your waistband, give yourself a little bit more of an ab challenge in this twist. Relaxing the shoulders, the belly, that straight leg. Inhale, come back to the middle, give your legs a little bit of a shake. We're going to come into either kneeling or downward facing dog, whichever one you feel like is the one you need to do today. Seems appropriate to do downward facing dog because dogs want to join into yogas. So you can either be kneeling here, either be on kneeling, or tabletop, or downward facing dog. Whichever one you're doing, feel for being as relaxed as possible in this position. Down facing dog's a nice place to pad the heels down towards the floor. Relax your head, relax your jaw, relax the eyes. Everybody take a big breath in, step that right leg forward, coming into a lunge position. Lifting the chest up here, letting the hips sink down. Getting yourself into those 3 points of contact, front foot, back knee, back foot. Maybe the arms come up once you've got that solidity. Well, that's my solidity. Inhale, feel for lifting the front of the chest up a little bit, reaching through the top of your head, the crown of your head. So you're lengthening the spine. Maybe there's a little bit of a curve going on in the spine here. Dropping the hips down a little bit further. Little bit something different. Maine Coon cat stretch. Hands come down onto the floor. Sink your chest down to the floor. In Maine Coon cat stretch, it's okay to actually also rock back and forth. If you rock forward, you feel you're getting into the front hip flexor on the back leg, and you can rock back and feel for getting into some of the upper hamstrings on the other leg. Rocking back, rocking forwards, rocking back. Optional to rock back and forwards. You get into some interesting spots. Easy twisting lunge. Left hand stays down, right hand reaches up towards the sky. Back into that Maine Coon cat stretch. Hands come down again. Either sinking the chest down, just doing that, or rocking back and forth. Easy twisting lunge again. Simple movement, opening the chest out towards that bend. Pigeon, right leg forward. Don't know how to get into pigeon. Come back into all fours, shoot that right leg forward. Left leg goes back. It's again the surprise. Surprises, there's nothing in it. Oh. If you want to challenge yourself with this one leg back game in pigeon, curl back toes under, lift that back knee up, shoot the heel back. You'll feel lots of stuff stretching in your leg. Drop the knee back down and sink back down into this. If it feels uncomfortable, it's perfectly fine to let that right hip flexor, right sit bone, touch the floor. That's fine. Or you can bring your elbows down, face down onto the floor. Maybe like that side. Come back into kneeling, and then we'll move into child's pose. Wide knee child's pose works quite well. I like that. Tops of the feet can be on the floor, toes can be on the floor. Sink your chest down towards the floor. Little option here, if you've got a blanket or something and you feel like your chest is floating off the floor and it doesn't feel comfortable, stick a blanket in there. Makes all the difference. Just letting the hips sink down towards the heels, but let your crown of your head lengthen away from your hips so your spine's getting long. Come back onto all fours, tabletop position. By popular request, people have asked me about a pose called thread the needle. I only teach thread the needle because I don't really like it myself. But I've been asked about it, so here it is. Pick your right hand up off the floor. See the gap between your knee and your hand? You're going to thread your arm to the side of that and let your shoulder come down onto the floor. People think of this as more of a twist. It's more of a shoulder opener, in my opinion. The more you can relax the supporting hand, the more of a shoulder opener you get. But you do have the stability of that hand in there. And it also, you've got the strengthening ability of having that hand there as well, because it builds up a lot of tricep strength and a lot of shoulder strength. Inhale, back into that tabletop position. And then either you can stay in tabletop or come back into a downward facing dog. And now we got to do all that on the other side. Start off with a lunge, left leg comes forward, right knee goes down. Arms come up if that feels good. Main Coon cat stretch, hands come down, rocking the hips back and forth if that feels good. And you can vary how far you rock back and forth as well. You can almost rock back so that front leg is almost straight. You can rock forward so that back leg is almost straight. Or you can be doing very little rocks. Or you might be just focusing on bringing your chest closer to the floor. Easy twisting lunge. Left hand comes up. Back into that Main Coon cat stretch, both hands on the floor. Maybe rocking back and forth, maybe not. Pigeon. Pigeon with the left leg forward, whichever version you like. For extra pigeonness, you can hook the back toes under, lengthen that back leg, shoot the heel back, bring the knee back down. For added pigeoniness. Letting the hips sink down, or maybe even letting yourself rest onto that left sit bone if this doesn't feel comfortable. Back into tabletop. Thread the needle. So, thread the needle this time. Left hand comes up. You're going to shoot it between the gap that you got between your hand and your knee, and bring that shoulder down onto the floor. Come out of that slowly and carefully. Push the sand off you if you've got sand on you. Come into a kneeling position. Two different versions of kneeling position, backs to the feet on the floor. Or if you're somebody that kind of feels like the feet can be tight and you're suffering, you get plantar fasciitis or pain in the sole of the foot, and if it's not diagnosed, you bring your toes down on the floor, and that stretches the plantar fascia on the foot. The thing about the plantar fascia is it's so strong and it's so dense that really you want to be here for a couple of minutes before it actually does anything. This position is good because we wear shoes, and so our feet tend to lock up in one position. Let's play with bird wing in here. Hands come together. Inhale, hands come together. Just the arm bone moves and the shoulder blade. Exhale, move them apart. Upper arm bone moves. Shoulder blade squeezes together. Inhale, shoulder blades broaden away from one another. Arms rotate in. Exhale, opposite, squeezing the shoulder blades together. As you're doing this, notice if one foot is holding you up more than the other, if you're in this toes down position. It's kind of interesting how that happens. If you got the backs of your feet down, then notice if one side is kind of like hiking you up the whole time. See if you can let that side relax. It's usually the dominant side, so it's usually the side you write with, but it might be the other side. Eagles want chips, I think. You can bring any. The arms sink down by your side, shoulder shrugs, a big breath in here. Shoulders come up, shoulders go back, squeeze top tips of shoulder blades together. Exhale, roll the shoulder blades back and down, lifting the chest up ever so slightly as the shoulder blades come back down with the arms go floppy. Big breath in. Squeeze the middles of shoulder blades together, really squeeze them together. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Exhale, let them come back down. Huge breath in. Bottom tips of shoulder blades together, squeezing the elbows in, squeeze them in, and let them relax. Do one more round of these. Big breath in again. Shoulders up, shoulders back, squeeze top tips of shoulder blades together. Exhale, roll them down. Big breath in again. Squeeze middles of shoulder blades together, squeeze them together, and roll them down the back. Last one, big breath in. Bottom tips of shoulder blades together. So, arch your arms, reach your right hand up, and bend the elbow, hand comes onto the back. Either have the hand on the elbow or bring the other hand up the back here. Inhale, lift the front of the chest up, lengthen the spine. Exhale, the shoulder blades relax. Unhook out of that one. Left arm, reach it up, bend the elbow, hand comes down. Whatever you did on one side, do it on the other side. And unfurl out of that. And let's sit down again. Quick hip release sequence before we move on to sunbathing. I mean, Savasana. Soles of the feet together, Baddha Konasana. I cannot see the screen. I am in the picture. Soles of the feet together. Take your left hand, put it on the midpoint between your knee and your hip. Hip socket, gently press into there. The other hand goes behind you so you can lean away. Press slowly and gently and feel what the right amount of pressure is. If your knee just goes straight down to the floor, I want you to press up gently and continuously. Hand into the thigh, thigh into the hand. For the rest of us, we can probably just be pressing down within that zone that feels comfortable, leaning away. If that hip feels a little bit tight, then even those of us that are tight in the hips, we can press that leg into the hand into the leg for maybe just one breath, and then release the pressure and see if the leg goes a little bit further. Slowly release the pressure off the leg, come back up. We do that on the other side. Midway between the knee and the hip, hand goes in the middle, press into the thigh, noticing that you're probably not going to be able to do the same as you did on the other side. Leaning away, gentle pressure. Again, if the knee goes straight to the floor, press hand into the thigh, thigh into the hand. But otherwise, we can just let that pressure open the hip socket just a little bit. Gently let off the pressure, come back up. Forward bend. Everybody's got a different version of forward bends. The forward bend I like to do in this position is I bring my chest towards my feet in Baddha Konasana. Rather than if I bring my head down towards my feet, there's a tendency to bend the spine. If you got a favorite version that you rather do, you can do that. But inhale, lengthen the spine. That's the first thing with any forward bend. Exhale, come forward. Get into a position that feels like you're quite supported here, so you can maybe play in and out of this position if you're not one of those people who can get your chest down on the floor just straight away. Use the oscillations of the breath, that uplift that happens when you breathe in, and that moving down towards the ground that happens when you exhale. Help you get a little bit deeper into this. Can you send breath into the belly? And then can you pull the belly in on that exhale? Slowly over a few breaths, come out of this forward bend, because we've been here for a few breaths. Filling the belly up with air, engaging the belly on the exhale, slowly coming up. We'll lie down, do a couple more little hip things, and then Shavasana. So, lie down. We're going to do knee to chest, and we're going to do, what should we do? Half. We're going to do knee to chest, and we'll do half dead bug. Those will be enough. So, bring your left knee up towards the chest, catch hold of it with your hands. Maybe lengthen the other leg out if that feels good. If it doesn't, keep the sole of the foot on the floor. If you feel like your knee comes up to your chest super easy and you're like, no, it was that easy, feel for bringing your left knee across towards your right shoulder blades. You're bringing it across the body. You'll feel a little bit of lengthening maybe in the glute medius doing that. Half dead bug. Classic version of this is that you grab hold of the side of the foot and bring the knee down towards the shoulder, towards the armpit here. If grabbing hold of the side of your foot doesn't work for you, you can grab hold of your leggings of the shin, or you can even grab hold of the back of the thigh. That does the same job too. Again, same thing rule applies with the other leg. You can have the knee bent, or you can have that leg straight for a little bit more of a hip opener. The sort of goal here is that the foot comes over the hip. Doesn't have to, but that's the sort of goal here. Let go of the leg. Let the leg relax. Maybe swing it from side to side a little bit, and then we're going to come over and do the other side. So first one was knee to chest. So knee comes over to the chest. You can grab hold of that knee. The other leg can be bent or straight. See if you can send breath into the belly. And again, the same rule applies. If this feels easy, feel for bringing that knee across the body to the opposite shoulder. Last one, half dead bug. Grab hold of the side of the foot. Or grab hold of the shin, back of the thigh. Go the leg, swing your knees from side to side. And this is where you get to play into Shavasana, sunbathing, sitting up, whatever feels good. get comfortable, blankets. If you're outdoors like we are in Davis, get into the sun. That's always a great place to be. And play with this idea of letting the body relax as much as possible, whichever position you're in. Hands relaxed, wrists relaxed, elbows relaxed, shoulders relaxed, neck relaxed, hips relaxed, and the legs relaxed too. So as relaxed as possible. Shavasana. Start to deepen your breath. Tuning into that feeling of relaxation, that feeling of letting go as much as you felt able or comfortable to let go today. And maybe kind of like tapping into the body, how that feeling feels from within, physically, mentally, spiritually. As you're deepening the breath, starting to use the waves of the breath to move the body. Maybe slowly rocking from one side to the other, moving your fingertips and your toes. And very slowly and gently rolling onto one side and making your way slowly upright. Some people are lying down still, that's perfectly fine. Other people are sitting up, that's perfectly fine. Thank you very much, everybody. Lovely to see you all today. Nice to be out on the beach doing yogas. Nice to be back in Aberffraw again. I always like this spot. Thank you very much. See you all again real soon. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.